So it's been a little while since I've given an update on this crazy adventure of building a DIY 48-foot tall multi-generational passive ICF house. So I thought I'd go ahead and give the update. So some of the things that have happened since the last time is we have concrete. So yeah, there's concrete on the garage floor. This is actually just the first layer. I'm actually doing 8 inches, so this is 4 inches of concrete right now. This is the structural, because there's a 16-foot tall room underneath the garage. And you can see I started to stack the west walls of the garage. So where it says steel beam next row, that's because, see that big steel beam? Yep, we're gonna be putting that over the top of the garage. So still need to install that. I will not be doing that one by hand. So we'll get the crane operator when he comes to put in the glue lam beams, because I'm also not doing glue lam beams by hand anymore. Yeah, my days of doing that are past. And so we'll use the crane to put in the glue lam beams. Still need to put in the metal posts. And so my neighbor is welding those up. And then all the walls have now been, so we did another pour of concrete. That went pretty well. So the concrete is now basically to the bottom of the windowsill, and putting in a lot of bracing, because my wife came over, and when she saw, actually I should go over here, and as we were standing laying out the windows, we were standing here and we were looking out at that view, and she said, how wide can the windows go? I said, well, our window manufacturer can do 10 feet. She said, perfect, let's take it from 8 feet to 10 feet. So, I don't know if I can back up far enough. Actually, yeah, I'll live up there. So that gives you an idea of how wide the window is. And as soon as you sit down, so as soon as you sit down in the sofa, then wow, you've got an amazing view of Mount Timpanogos right there. And I've also been putting in lots of the other windows, stacking block. And I also thought now might be a good time to go ahead and give you a tour, because it's one thing to see it on paper. Yeah, I've got that video, but it's kind of another to actually be able to see a tour. So let's start right here. And right here, there's going to be a 5-foot bump out for the garage, because my dad would like to get a truck someday. So we'll do a 5-foot bump out. It'll just be a regular stick frame. This maybe, and then right here is the other single car garage that has a 2-foot bump out. And then there's also a 2-foot bump out for the entryway as well. And then something that's kind of nice is if you look down that wall, it's still straight. So that's always a good thing when you're doing a DIY ICF house. So there will be a door right here from the garage, and there'll be a second door right here for my parents. And there will actually be a third door that is over in the 5-foot bump out. So we'll actually have three ways to get in and out of the garage. And part of that has to do with the multi-generational aspect. So here's one door. So you open up this door, and now you're standing in the entryway, and there's a set of stairs that goes up to the second floor. And then back over here is the 2-foot bump out. 2-foot bump out is also part of the entryway, so the main door will be right here, and then we'll actually have a porch that's out here that goes not very far, mainly just to the edge of the window. And then my parents' door is right here, so right about there. So they'll open up their door, and then now you're in the living room of their place. And over there's a dining room, and then a kitchen. So that large window that you see is actually their kitchen window, because on this first level, I can only have one kitchen. So I asked our city, I said, can it be a really long kitchen with 2 of everything, 2 sinks, 2 stoves, 2 fridges? And they said yes. So the really large window that's on the right is actually my parents' kitchen window. Or I should say one part of the kitchen window is that one's just so that we can get more light into this area, their dining room, living room. And then over there is the other kitchen, well, same kitchen window. So second kitchen window is right there. And then far end on the corner is, that's my wife's and I dining room. And so we've got some really nice views of those mountains that you see off in the distance. And then our door is right here. And then you can see we've got 2 clear story windows. And the reason why we wanted to go with more clear story windows is, one, when you sit down, you can still see the mountains. But 2, as you're walking by, you don't have to see the neighbors. So let me show you, because we are pretty close to the neighbors. But because it's this clear story window, then they won't have to see us and we won't have to see them. And then this is our living room. And we've also got the same 10-foot window. So we've got 2 twin 10-foot windows. And then, let's see. Oh, I should actually probably show you my parents' aging in place bedroom suite. So their part of the kitchen window is here on the right. And then cabinets and a pantry, lots of closets in here too. And then their bedroom will actually be back in this area. So this first window is underneath, or I should say above. So underneath that window is actually a soaking bathtub. To the right of it is a shower, so that's a shower window. And then you open up the door and then you go into their bedroom. And their bedroom has 2 windows. And the other thing too that you probably have noticed is all of these windows look straight into our neighbor's house. So actually I'll come over so you can see kind of what the issue is. So my mom or dad will be standing here doing the dishes, and there's my neighbor's kitchen. They're standing there doing the dishes. And so to make it so that we don't feel like we're in a fishbowl is the greenhouse, because we have the year-round greenhouse that's here on the outside. That year-round greenhouse will actually go and attach above right up here. So as we're looking out, we'll be looking out at, like, because since it's a year-round greenhouse, we'll be able to grow passion fruit. And so I think we'll have some passion fruit vines up here so that we look out onto something beautiful instead of us staring at our neighbors and our neighbors staring at us. And so that greenhouse goes the entire length of all 72 feet. And something before I take you downstairs, just to kind of give you a visual of how tall this greenhouse is going to be. So it's actually going to be about 20 feet tall. And the reason why is because right there at the fence line, I'll drop it 4 feet and then terrace it out about 10 feet, drop it another 4 feet. So by the time that I get done, it'll be 20 feet. I mean, some of this gets backfilled. All of that concrete that you see down there, that was me ordering too much concrete on the last pour, so I decided to quote unquote strengthen the foundation. But live and learn. But anyway, some of this will be backfilled, but the rest of it will be a 20-foot tall, so 12 feet wide, 20-foot tall, 72 feet long, year-round greenhouse that will be able to grow tropical. And just another view. This is the view out our dining room window. So, and then this is our door. And go ahead and, so I should also show you where these stairs. In fact, I'm going to explain how the second and third floor work. So right here is a set of stairs that actually goes up to the second floor. On the second floor is the third story of our 3-story townhouse for my wife and I. And so on these ends, we actually have a 1-bedroom on this side. So this view will just be amazing. We'll have that view of the Cascade Mountains from that 2nd-story window. And then it'll also have the view of Timpanogos right there. And then there'll be a closet. And then on the other side is a 2nd bedroom that has amazing views of those mountains. And you can't see it right now, but when you're actually on the 2nd floor, you can see the Pesa Mountains, which are to the south. And then there's also a bath up there as well. So that's why I say our place is kind of like a 3-story townhome, because we've got 2 bedrooms and a bath on the 2nd story. And then we have the kitchen, dining room, and the living room on this story. And then downstairs, I'll take you down in just a minute, is where my wife's and I bedroom, and then just a little extra room, bathroom is. But over here, this is how it's going to work in terms of a multi-generational home. Is who's ever living on the 2nd and 3rd story, they'll come in through the front door into this entryway, and there's a wall all along here so that my parents have their own separate place. But right here is a set of stairs that goes up. So you walk up the stairs to the 2nd story, and you can turn right to go into one of the extra condos, or you turn left to go into the other condo. Now, once again, because we can only have 2 kitchens, those 2 condos have to share one long kitchen that has 2 of everything: 2 stoves, 2 kitchens. Sorry, not 2 kitchens. It's 2 stoves, 2 sinks, 2 refrigerators, etc. So they'll have a dining room over there, living room over here, and then on the right-hand side will be their part of the 2nd-story kitchen. On the left-hand side will be the other kitchen. So you go up the stairs, turn right to go into one living room, turn left to go into the other living room that kind of matches it. So it has the part of the kitchen, and then the shared kitchen, and then they have their own dining room and their own living room. And the views from the 2nd story, spectacular. Once again, awesome windows, great view of Temp. So going back to this, so to get access to the 3rd story, both of them have their own set of stairs to get to those 3rd-story windows. Sorry, 3rd-story bedrooms. So the condo on the right, their set of stairs kind of mirrors this set of stairs right here. Goes up to the 3rd floor. And on the 3rd floor, both of them have 4 bedrooms and 2 baths on that 3rd floor. And then over here, that 2nd condo, it has most of this area. So once again, 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, and the views are just spectacular. To the south, I mean, you can see the lake from the 3rd story. And then imagine the rooftop deck. So 1.5 inch, 12 inch in terms of not the grade, but the slope. And so in essence, it's almost a flat roof. So when you take into account the slope, it's about 36 feet long. Technically, it's only 34 feet from here to there, from one side to the house to the other, but with that slope, it goes up to 36 feet of roofs. So we'll have about 20,000 kilowatts of solar panel up there. And then on the north side over here, we'll have a rooftop deck so that we can do barbecues and other fun stuff and be able to see these mountains and watch the sunrise, sunset. I'm actually going to build a couple of Japanese photos, so those are small soaking hot tubs. That'll be a lot of fun to sit in those and soak up on the roof. And so let's go ahead and go downstairs into the basement and crawl space. So obviously, still need to build the stairs right now. Just doing the ladder, but it works. So down here, this is kind of a little family room. I'd say. But what's kind of fun is where you see the top of the dirt, that's as high as the dirt's gonna get. So when you stand right here, you can still get a great view of Timpanogos. So the stairs from upstairs comes down, down, and stops right about here. And then you come into the family room, or you can also go into this room. So this will be a little laundry room. And our master bathroom will be right there. Our master bedroom is over here. So this is the bottom of kind of our 3-story townhome. So what's nice is it won't feel like a basement because this still needs to be excavated out a little bit more. But we'll have 12 feet into the greenhouse that we'll be able to see. And then this is kind of a clear story-ish window because our bed will be down here, and then a closet right here. And then there will be a wall that starts up there or so. And this over here, most of this is all my parents' place, more for guests. And so there's a couple of windows for a bedroom, and then another room over here is kind of a workshop room for my dad. Other windows, or it could be turned into another bedroom as well. And over in that area is another bathroom. And then this is the walkway down to the stairs that will go down into the crawl space. So I'll take you down into the crawl space. As you can see, we end up with lots of extra cardboard because that's what helps protect the block, ICF block that we're using. And then, as I often say, so this is the mudroom. So it'll both be a mudroom for the greenhouse, but it'll also be for utilities as well. So I often say that doing a DIY house is an exercise in humility, and this is one of those. Figured out a way to do the terracing after the fact, because before the bottom of the greenhouse was going to be where this door is. But then I figured out how I can do terracing and make it so that the greenhouse is lower. So I'm going to need to chisel out a whole bunch of that concrete to get it down, but that's okay. And then this is where the magic is going to happen. This is actually not a window. This is where the heat recovery unit is going to be. And so this will allow us to have, even though we have in essence 12,000 square feet, I don't know how many cubic feet, but a lot of cubic feet. And so I'll be able to have a blower in there and a heat recovery unit, so that during the winter time, all the cold air from outside will come in through my heat recovery unit. All the warm air that is inside the house will go out 7 times per hour. So every hour, I'll have 7 full air exchanges. So it will come in to this area. And what's nice is the heat going out transfers the heat to the cold air coming in. So it's about 80 to 90% efficient. Once it gets in here, then it will go into a whole bunch of different hoses that go to the individual bedrooms and the living rooms. That pumps the fresh air that's been filtered, because I'll have a filter over there too. And then there's also hoses that come from the kitchens and from the bathrooms that suck out the smelly, stale, humid air. And that will come down and go out the heat recovery unit. So that's a little bit about how that'll work. And then let's go ahead and go down into the crawl space. And down in the crawl space, I'll also be able to show you the awesome bonus room that we ended up with under the garage. I had somebody approach me and said, hey, I've got some of this extra build deck that you can use to do a room underneath your garage. I figured out all the costs in terms of rebar, in terms of foam, concrete, rebar, foam. And it's going to cost about an extra $10,000 to put it in. It took a lot of time. I will admit, it took a lot of time to do this, but that $10,000 and all the extra time, in about 10 years from now, when grandchildren or nieces or nephews or whoever are in this room playing, that's going to be awesome. So I don't know if the camera can really do this justice. What you're seeing right now is all the bracing. I need to leave the bracing up for a full 28 days. But after the 28 days is over, which is about a week and a half, then I'll be able to take down all of this bracing. And I'll be able to take down all those floor joists, those eye joists that are up there. Those all come down too. Those eventually will be my roof. And then this will be an amazing room. And even right now, so far, it's performing super well. So the other morning, it was 31 degrees outside, 48 degrees inside here, because these walls, yeah, they're a thermal battery now, 8 inches of concrete. Today it was 75, and inside that room under the garage, it was 58 degrees. And so this is the crawl space. And yeah, I realize I'm not crawling around. So it's set up for anybody who's under 6'2" can walk around just fine. But there's the posts and beams that you can see that will go throughout the middle of the house. Most of the posts are all going to be hidden inside of walls, but we'll be able to just have a ton of storage down here. And this is also my backup air conditioning unit as well, because once we get this completely filled in the summer, it'll probably only get up to like 60, 62. And so I'll be able to pull in that the hot, dry air from outside, put it into this area, being exposed to all of this earth. Now, granted, this earth is going to be covered with the rest of this pango wrap. So that pango wrap is a termite barrier, a water barrier, vapor barrier. So that's going to go over this entire thing. And then we'll have about 3.5 inches of concrete on top of it. But because I won't have any foam, no insulation, then during the summer, this should stay around 60 degrees. And I can pull in that hot, dry air and cool off the top of the house with it. Also, at night, we are in a desert environment, and so it gets really cool at night. And so just by taking any hot air and pumping it out and pulling in that cool air will also help to keep the house cool. And because of that 8 inches of concrete, which is that thermal battery, that also will help to keep the whole thing cool as well. And then during the winter time, if all of my south-facing windows, because there's a ton of them, if it ends up overheating this house, then I will be pulling this nice cool air from down here to help cool off the top of the house. But yeah, so basically, that's the progress, that's the tour. Be sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.